We're here with Andrew Gaus for our Week 2 NFL Best of the Week segment. Andrew, thank you for taking time to talk to us.
Of course, guys. Love this. Happy to help.
Andrew had a pretty good week last week. Pretty good week. You called the Chargers.
Yeah, I actually had a really good week. Surprisingly, I don't always have too much success, but week 1 was pretty good to me. A lot of the games I kind of went how I thought they would, and some of the players who I thought would show up did a nice job. So fingers crossed we can carry that into week 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, you also had the 49ers, I think, covered the spread against the Lions. Also,
There was a backdoor cover. In some sports books, Ryan, it was a backdoor cover by the Lions. It was 8.5 and some. Really? Oh my! And they won by 8.
Yep, and luckily your friend over here got him at 7.5.
Oh my God!
So I got lucky on that side. But yeah, I had some friends who got it later in the week at 8.5, and that's like the worst way to lose. Like that happened to me with the I had the Panthers 5.5, 5.5 or 6.5, and I think the Jets scored with like a minute left. Just pointless touchdown to ruin that one for me. So it's the way it goes.
So for the first game, would you take the Steelers to cover the spread or the Raiders to cover?
I like the Steelers. I think being a home game, as both you guys know, I think Hines is going to be popping off like first real home game in over a year now. Like I think fans will be fired up. I thought Najee was kind of okay, kind of like felt his way around his first NFL game. I think he really has a great week. I think from a prop betting standpoint, I'm going to be taking him like a Najee Harris touchdown for sure this week. And it seemed like the offense started clicking in the second half, so hopefully they carry that over well. And the defense looks as good as usual.
How about this one? Houston plus 13 at the Browns.
Yeah, so I was looking at some of the lines this morning, and that's a game that I put a big question mark next to. The line I was looking at had Cleveland at minus 12.5. I think Cleveland covers that. I think Houston obviously kind of won a surprise game this past week. A lot of people were on the Jaguars, which both those teams are going to have probably tough seasons. But I thought Cleveland looked really good. They turned into the normal Browns again in the fourth quarter last week, which a lot of people saw coming, I guess. But I think Cleveland will cover that game. I think it could get ugly, and I think their offense is really strong. As much as it pains me to say it as a Steeler fan, I think the Browns have a really good team, both ends of the field.
Yeah. Any other games that have caught your eye?
Yeah, so this is one of those weeks which almost scares me a little bit because of how many games I like. Usually there's like 1 or 2 I like, and then I look at the rest and I'm like toss-ups. But I really like Buffalo minus 3.5 at Miami. I think Josh Allen, Diggs, all those guys bounce back after the Steelers kind of shocked them in a sense. I think they cover 3.5 pretty well. I was impressed by the Cowboys last Thursday. I really thought the offense looked good, and I think the defense will get better. So they're an underdog on the road in LA against the Chargers. I like Dallas.
So you're going against your Chargers.
Yeah, I am going against my Chargers. I think the Chargers are really good. So like it makes it harder on me, but I think Dallas is going to win this week. I think they'll squeak one out on the road, and Chargers are still a young team, so I think they'll have a few growing pains throughout the year here.
Yeah, in our picks of the week segment, Alex took the Chargers. I took the Cowboys. Another line that kind of seems interesting is Kansas City minus 3.5. I really think they'll cover that. I mean, the Ravens look terrible with all the injuries. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree. That's one of the games that I have checked off. I think 3.5 is always a tricky line because a game-winning field goal, whether it's an overtime or a last-second drive, obviously doesn't cover for you. But I think Kansas City will take care of Baltimore. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Steeler fan, but I just think Baltimore is too one-dimensional right now. I think they don't have a super strong passing game. I think Marquise Brown and Andrews are both good options for Lamar, but he still wants to run the ball, and obviously he's really good at that. But I think Kansas City kind of got like the rust off them in the first half against Cleveland, and I can't see that game being that close, honestly. But you just never know.
Andrews was frustrating me last week. I needed him to get like a couple more points for me to win my fantasy game, and then he just couldn't get a catch.
Oh no! Oh, the fantasy football sweats are. I mean, it's very similar to like betting props and doing like same game parlays where you're really like watching the game for one guy really, and you're just hoping every pass goes his way. But I had Raiders in that game, so I'm gonna sit here and brag a little more about that one.
Yeah.
I got a lot of trash talk for taking the Raiders, but
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. And then this one to me seems like a lock. It's Seattle -6. Tennessee's coming to Seattle -6. I take the Titans to cover that every day of the week.
I agree. I think I didn't get a chance to watch any of the Tennessee game over the weekend, probably because it was during when Pittsburgh was playing. But Tennessee's a solid team, like Tannehill, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry. That's too big of a line. I think you definitely, if you're taking that game, take Tennessee. And I would even like, if you're doing a teaser, I would definitely tease that up a few points as well.
Any certain player props that have caught your eye this week?
Yeah, so like what we talked about last week, I'm always zoned in on the Steeler props. So I like Juju. He's over 53.5 receiving yards this week. I thought Claypool kind of got more targets in the Bills game. So I think maybe Oakland will kind of put quarterback one on Claypool, and I think that'll free up Juju. And obviously Deontay takes up a lot of attention too. So I think that's kind of one of the strong suits of the Steelers offense is if Ben's throwing the ball, especially downfield. I think Juju will have a big game. I think the Steelers offense in general might have a really nice day on Sunday.
Have you looked at any of the Pat Freiermuth bets? I know last week I heard some people were taking him to score a touchdown, him to get a certain amount of yards. Do you like him at all in this game?
Yeah, so I it's funny you say it because I heard the exact same things through Twitter and some of the gambling sites that I look into during the week. And to be like fully transparent, like the first time I heard it, like I'm not super up to date with everything Steelers in the off season. I had to do like a little research on who he was. But after reading a little bit about him, like people are making the Heath Miller comparisons, and obviously Ben loves going to his tight ends down in the red zone. So him for an anytime touchdown scorer definitely has like some good value for sure.
I got one more question. I don't know if Ryan has any more, but on Monday night you got the Lions and the Packers. -11 Packers. Your thoughts?
I don't like that game at all. I don't like the spread. The Packers look so bad this week. And Jared Goff did not have a bad debut for the Lions either. So like my advice would be to not touch that game, but you guys want some juicy answers on this podcast. So I'll go out on a limb.
I'll take that.
I would take Green Bay if I had to bet it. Just because at the end of the day, I think when you're undecided, you bet with the better quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. So I would take Green Bay, but if you're really struggling, I would stay away from it.
So lastly, any over-under totals that have caught your eye? Like I know there's a lot of high-scoring teams that have kind of like lower ones that kind of surprise me looking at.
Yeah. So tonight, the Thursday night game, I like the under. I think it's at 41.5. Between Saquon Barkley kind of being questionable. He'll definitely play, but he was limited in practice all week. I don't trust Daniel Jones throwing the ball that much. So I think there's some lack of offense on the Giants side of the field. And then obviously a backup quarterback in for Washington, even though, as we kind of saw in the postseason last year, Tyler Heineke is well capable of running that offense. But I think someone like Chase Young gets to the backfield a lot tonight for Washington. And I think it's a somewhat low scoring game, kind of per usual for like NFC East matchups.
And there you have it. That's our Bets of the Week segment with our Chalkboard representative, Andrew Gaus. Fantastic insight.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's great to do this as always. And hope you guys have a great night.